just have to stay there, and if you want to hand me someone, go around.
You check that link also, make sure it is live on your phone. You'll still just see the graphic.
They're the job.
Right. Player scores, minutes, subs. That's
same as last day.
Yeah, but be able to say every point here scores, you know?
I know, same as last day.
Much the same. It's a bit of a hurry when you don't know the players, you have to get used to all the numbers all over again here.
The microphone is open now.
Of our game, to get our game safely played today and even going forward, that we can continue the season and how all our game is played. The team line-out for today are as follows. Monaghan team, in goals, number 1, Hugh Byrne, number 2, Colin Merrick, 3, Kevin Crawley, 4, Jamie Guinan. Wearing number 5, Brian Flanagan, 6, Peter Traynor, number 7, Cormac McNally, centre of the park, number 8, Shane McNally, and 9, Declan Crowe. Forward line, number 10, Conor Flynn, number 11, Mark Traynor, and 12, Niall Garland. The full forward line, number 13, Fergal Rafter, number 14, Aidan Kerr, and number 15, Aidan Burns. The Mayo team line out as follows. Goals wearing number 1, Gerard Kelly, number 2, Gary Nolan, 3, Stephen Coyne, 4, John Cassidy, number 5, Brian Hunt, 6, David Kenny, and 7, Catherine Freeman. Standing apart, number 8, Sam John, and number 9, Sean Mulroy. 10, Sean Kenny, 11, Shane Boland, 12, Adrian Phillips. We pull forward number 13, Jason Coyne, 14, Corey Sala, and 15, Owen Delaney. Our national anthem will be in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Gamani G of Rackard Gael and Falcha G Parkward Clontibret. You're very welcome here to Clontibret for this Nicky Rackard Cup, I suppose a novel event in the year of 2020 with COVID restrictions, etc. You're joined in comment by myself, Paddy Flood, and you'll have some analysis later on from Aidan Morgan from the Clontibret Club, and we'll be talking to Aidan later. Just teams have been introduced to us here in Clontibret. The Monaghan team lines out as follows. In goals is Hugh Byrne. In the full back line, then we have Colin Marrick, Kevin Crawley and Jamie Guinan. The half back line of Brian Flanagan, Peter Traynor and Cormac McNally. Sent to the field, the Blaney men of Shane McNally from Clontibret and Declan Crowe from Castleblaney. Then we have number 10, Conor Flynn. 11, it's not starting, Mark Traynor. He's a big loss to the Monaghan team here today. Mark not starting, and Pádraig McGahan will come in for Mark Traynor. And number 12 is Niall Garland. Then 13 is Fergal Rafter, 14 Aidan Kerr, and 15 is Aidan Burns makes up the Monaghan team. The Mayo team line out as follows. In goals is Gerald Kelly. The full back line is made up of Gary Nolan on 2, Stephen Coyne the captain on 3, and John Cassidy on 4. Then we have Brian Hunt number 5, David Kenny number 6, and Carl Freeman number 7. Middle of field for them is Daniel Huan and Sean Mulroy. Then number 10, Sean Kenny, 11, Shane Boland, and 12, Adrian Phillips. And finally, we're finishing off with the full forward line. Number 13 is Jason Coyne, 14, Corey Scahill, and 15 is Owen Delaney. The referee for today's match comes all the way from County Down. That's Colin Murray. Standby official is Aidan McAleer from Donegal. And then the linesman, Leon Reynolds from Armagh, and the sideline from John Emma from Cavan. So, Aidan, we're joined here. Mayo playing at a higher division level and probably the hot favourites coming into this match.
Without a doubt, Paddy, and the Monaghan management, I'm sure, are going to be looking for an excellent start to the game. And as you said, Mark Traynor's a massive loss to this Monaghan team. He's always a real central figure and one of the leaders on the team, a massive loss. But look at going through the defence on the Monaghan team, even starting with Q Bourne and goals. There's a massive wind here today, and Q Bourne is well able to strike a ball, and I'm sure Monaghan will be looking to capitalise on that, long quick balls into the forwards. But in my opinion, it's going to be a tough ask of Monaghan here today, and truth be told, will they go defensive from the off potentially and maybe playing a sweeper, if not two, to try and just get into the game and not let Mayo get off to a good start. But look, at time will tell. Looking forward to a dinger of a game, and we'll see how it goes.
Great, Aidan, thank you very much. Of course, Mayo found the going quite tough themselves in Division 2A, and I think we're about to stand here for Oran Navian and Toran Nashunta. Clontibret pitch in perfect condition for hurling. Apart from that strong breeze, the conditions are excellent, and yeah, both teams really relishing the fact of getting a game at this time of the year. It's been a long time since they've entered into competitive inter-county action.
Our national anthem today will be sung by Rebecca Brennan from the Clontibret Club here. Now, an intention please for Oran Navian.
Well, tan Toran Rocha, Tagarro Genta, Tamadre Contosu and Shaw, Clontibret. Monaghan playing in the customary blue and white, Mayo in the green and red, and both teams taking up positions. All we're missing here are spectators, and that is the miss of the 2020 championship. Bear with us for a little while here. We're coming to terms with all the names and the numbers, etc. Programs have been kindly supplied to us. So Nicky Rackard Cup is about to commence here in Clontibret for the year 2020. It's Monaghan who will play with the advantage of that wind in the first half, and the referee makes final checks, and Tan Cliha Tossaha. There's a bit of a scramble for the ball there, and it's a Monaghan men who come out with it, but losing possession is higgledy-piggledy enough. The man who got down fastest there was Adrian Phillips from Mayo. Phillips, he's beautifully hooked there, and the ball goes right back down the field. Monaghan set up the first attack of the game, and quick on the sticks there. Oh, the block down and the hook really came in there, and no luck for the Monaghan attack. It's Cathal Freeman now with the ball. Cathal Freeman sends a long ball forward. He looks for a centre half forward. That centre half forward is Shane Boland. Boland sends the ball in. Danger already, red danger as the ball comes across the hook from Stephen Kenny there. But Monaghan just doing enough to come out with the ball there. Excellent work by Kevin Crawley. Brings it back to Declan Crowe. And on from that then comes Cormac McNally. All it takes is for one man to get down here, and it's going to be, well, the attempt was by the foot there by Conor Flynn from the Monaghan Harps Club. Out again comes the number 7, and that's Cathal Freeman. Freeman, strong run, as we say, playing into the wind, deflects to Adrian Phillips. Adrian, that's his first opportunity of the game. Tashir clear for real.
It started lively anyway, Paddy. Quick ball in from on there, a wee bit fidgety around the middle, but they might just settle into the game. But the quick ball in there, Paddy McGahan was very unlucky not to get on that. But fast flowing start anyway.
Fidgety it was. Hugh Byrne, wow, he uses the full wind to get the ball right down the field. Mayo men pick it up. It's Daniel Huan who gets the ball, sends it cross field, and again back another crossfield ball from the Mayo women. Every man's going to go for this one here. It's Flanagan who's down from Monaghan, but Mayo Phillips has it. Phillips on his stick takes the shot because of Reece Tashir clear because of for real. Second miss in a row from the stick of Adrian Phillips.
No sign of any sweeper anyway, Paddy. They seem to be going man to man, and with Clontibret with that strong, or with Monaghan with that strong breeze, maybe that is the right thing to do.
Yeah, Burns kicks, puck outs are going long. They're going very long. In fact, if anything, it's Mayo playing a little bit more cautious at the beginning of the first half here. One of the busiest men in the opening minutes of the field is the Mayo number 7, Cathal Freeman. So Monaghan looking to set up an advantage. There's a fair wee dump there on the Monaghan player, and the lines are cleared by Gary Nolan. Nolan sends the ball into his corner forward, but it's the Monaghan men is in possession, but quickly dispossessed again, and this time this looks straighter. It's dropping into the hands of Hugh Byrne. Shane Boland it was who sent the ball in, I suppose caught in the breeze, and Hugh Byrne. Lovely piece of fielding by Gary Nolan. Nolan now out across to Shane Boland again. Boland just, that ball dropped short. There was a hit there. What did you make of that, Ian?
I'm not so sure, Paddy. Like Jamie Gainan, well, he competed for the ball and there was a bit of contact on it, but a free, I'm not so sure. But look, it is what it is. Potentially the first score of the game to Mayo.
Qualified not so sure here from Aidan. It's most easy for Monaghan men to say not so sure. If you're from west of the Shannon, you'd be more sure than that. The one person who was sure was our referee, Colin Murray. And Shane Boland, his second opportunity of the afternoon. Boland, the shot, Tashi Girok, Tashi Haran, Trasnon and Mayo are ahead.
Yeah, no mistake there, Paddy, from that free. Look at a nice opening to the game, a nice intensity. Both teams going at it, that's what we want to see.
Byrne, he was trying to pick out there Conor Flynn. Flynn just not able to control the shutter. And he's going to get another opportunity here. Conor Flynn sends the ball out and back again. Again, the Monaghan passing just overstretching at times. Cormac McNally there with the ball, sends it back and downfield goes the Schlitter again. Downfield it goes. Nice piece of work here by Fergal. Rafter's going to set up his first scoring opportunity of the afternoon. And the attempted hook there at the very end. Referee says all fair in love and war, and that will give Gerald Kelly the chance to have his first puck out of the afternoon.
Yeah, Paddy, again, that bit of fidgetiness that we're talking about around the middle in comparison to Mayo. It's a quick, straight, direct ball every time. Gerald
Kelly, ball is gone out. Both teams contest the midfield ball. Mayo control it though, and down comes Sean Mulroy. Mulroy sends the ball straight back to Shane Boland, and Boland knows what to do with it, and Darna Colleen Doveo. So Shane Boland, the only scorer in the game here, but a busy Shane Boland it is. Byrne sends that long puck right down the field. The Mayo men regrouping. David Kenny right under that, judging it perfectly. Now with the Monaghan guys, it's McNally. McNally sends the ball in to Ard, but not Ard galore, and it drops into the hands of Kelly in the goals. Kelly, an impressive puck, looks for his full forward line. Both teams are competing for it here. It's a bit of a schmuzzle, as O'Hare would have said, but Owen Talav was a journey. Corey Scahill it was there, picked the ball off the ground, and Hugh Byrne, will he fancy a go from here, Corm?
Absolutely. Give Q a chance to flex the muscles here and have a rattle at it well within his capabilities. Big, strong cross-field wind to his advantage.
Byrne, well, it's high, it's dropping, it's not going to, it certainly was to the right, yeah, to the right and wide. Again, the breeze having a strong influence on the opening moments of the game here. So Mayo the advantage, 2 points to none, and Kelly with Gerald would be a bit disappointed with that puck out. It went to his left and was ultimately dragged with the wind a little bit, and it gives now the chance for Shane McNally to launch an attack for Monaghan. McNally, beautiful cut from McNally. It's travelling well, and took down. And Monaghan gets his opportunity and put the ball over the bar. That's Niall Garland, who was on hand to make the most of a bit of dirty ball breaking, and he puts Monaghan on the scoreline board here. A point now to Monaghan, 2 to Mayo. Kelly in a hurry here to get the ball out. But again, the defence lines of Monaghan seem to be, well, he hadn't used the word fidgety. Fidgety probably is the word to use. It's fidgety all round. The only man who's not fidgeting is Kevin Crawley. The Inniskeen man sends him Schlitter on ahead, and that's where Aidan Burns comes to collect. Burns drops it down. Nice piece of work there, Porry McGahan. And again, the loose ball comes out. Jamie Guinan puts it under control, and he's sent, ball sent forward again by Freeman. Freeman is looking for Jason Coyne. Coyne has the Schlitter. Chancing to Coyne. Coyne takes the chance, and he sends it straight over the bar, and Trihu Colleen Doveo.
Yeah, it just seems to be a bit easier for Mayo to get scores there, but look at both defences are probably on top. No attacking, and the other team is that easy, but Mayo just getting the scores that bit easier.
Yeah, Hugh Byrne, the ball's broken in there where for the Monmouth McGahan it's there. Again, Mayo, as Aidan said, a little bit finding it easier to get the ball under control. A lot of scrappy ball in the early part of this match here. Both teams coming to terms with the conditions. Just that little bit windy. A careless enough ball there by Boland, and easy for the Monaghan men to clear their lines. But that's only back again. It comes to Freeman again. The Mayo again in control, and a nice piece of work, and it was Delaney in that case who put the ball over the bar.
Yeah, simple hurling from Mayo there. No messing on the ball, direct all the time, and look at handy score. Whereas on the flip side, Monaghan a ball straight down the middle channels and nobody in there to compete for the ball. So look, they have to maybe throw it out to the wings a little bit more.
So Nicky Rackard Cup. I suppose the early indications are positive from the Mayo side, very much in control in the early parts, and again remember playing against quite a strong breeze here. McGahan sending the ball, but Freeman again on hand. Freeman back to Kelly. Kelly the goalkeeper. John Cassidy is waiting for this ball. Cassidy, crossfield ball. It's broken, but again Mayo come out with the ball. The stick work nicely there done by Adrian Phillips. Phillips, he missed a couple earlier on. He's going to fancy his chances here. He takes the shot, and this time it's to the right, to the left earlier on. And yeah, Adrian Phillips, part of a Mayo attack that's quite willing to have their shots. They're being successful so far. They're 3 points up, 4 points to 1 to Mayo. Hugh Byrne sends the ball right back down the centre of the field. But very much the ball is all the time breaking the Mayo. David Kenny in control of that there. Sends it across to Sean Mulroy. Mulroy sending the ball right into Jason Coyne. Jason Coyne turns and he makes really good work. He was under pressure there, and Coyne was under pressure from Colin Merrick, but he sends the ball over the bar, 5-1.
One of the biggest things, and I talked about it before throw-in, was the distance that Coburn can get on these puck-outs for Monaghan, and absolutely no point in driving ball down Mayo throat every time. Monaghan needed an awful lot more movement inside in our forward line.
Agreed. Brian Hunt it is who has picked this one up. He sends the ball again back in. Coyne, Delaney rather it is, who's got the ball there. Delaney not controlling the ball, and the Monaghan men come out. It's Peter Traynor and McNally exchanging the ball. Crossfield ball, searches, and it looks for the wandering full forward Aidan Kerr. This time the ball is sent in by Flanagan, but it was harmless. The ever-waiting Freeman availing of this opportunity. Again, his passing turn is astray and gives that opportunity for Shane McNally. McNally, though, just dropping the ball back in to John Cassidy. Cassidy back out to Freeman. He looks for the pass into Boland. And Boland's ball is looking for Owen Delaney. Owen Delaney turned the man here. But a nice piece of defending there by Colin Merrick, managing just to keep at bay. It was really, the Mayo boys are hammering at the Monaghan defence time and time again, and but for the attention of Merrick there could have been a goal chance on. Back out we come. The Monaghan men try something fancy with the stick work, but well, all to no avail. It was a foul in the end on the Mayo men, which Brian Hunt is going to take. He's been asked to take it again. So we have a far Gortha and Shin. It's the Mayo number 6, David Kenny, is getting a wee bit of attention, but referee just cooling things down a wee bit.
Conor Flynn just lashing out there, probably a wee bit more in frustration. Standing still, no movement on the feet, and having a shot at goal and got turned over, and maybe just a bit of a lash out in frustration there. Just didn't go his way.
Yeah. Cathal Freeman. The run was very effectively made by Corey Scahill. He saw the opportunity there, he came out, and Freeman fed the ball beautifully in. Ultimately it ends up here in a 65 for Mayo. It's normally a scoreable thing, but given the wind, this is a fair challenge. Mayo making a substantial journey here to Clontibret on a weekend where teams have been, I suppose, a little bit anxious and nervous about the various journeys, but the Mayo men were here in good time and warming up early, and they are off like a song. Sean Kenny now with the puck. It's high, it's long. Tashihar and Trasnol, and that's a beautiful point from Sean Kenny.
That's a savage score, Paddy, against a strong breeze. No issue with the distance or accuracy. And like when you're looking around the Mayo team, there's just players popping up every time, dominant players, but then you look at somebody else that you haven't seen popping up. Very skillful looking.
Popping up for Monaghan there was Flynn. But the Monaghan forward line get no change at all out of these Mayo back line, who's defending stoutly in the early part of the game. The turn on the puck on this occasion, but again, that was Niall Garland with the turn and the puck. But as Aidan said, we're putting the ball from a Monaghan perspective down the throat of the Mayo players, but they're very happy to swallow it and cough it back out again. That's what's happening here. Flynn it is this time, and again to the same end. I suppose just that little bit of frustration that we mentioned earlier, not just with all of the Monaghan team, just a little bit quick and hasty in their delivery of the ball. But Arasht, the ball comes out, and off we go again. It's Boland. Boland's turning this man in attention. But a great piece of defending by Monaghan, and ultimately it's Brian Flanagan who's going to come out with the late Rudge. Greek in a year reaches Declan Crowe, but Crowe gets a little bit of a shove, and there's the schmuzzle's developing here, and it's up to Niall Garland to tidy things up a little bit. Niall does very well. The ball breaks to Rafter. You'd fancy Rafter from here. Rafter takes a shot, but Arish Tashir, yes, his second opportunity of the game, and wide, uncharacteristic.
Absolutely, from Fergal Rafter, you'd back him all day to get them. And as Paddy says, like, it's just a bit erratic with Monaghan. There's no patience, and like 5 points down, they definitely should be closer than that.
I suppose the game here showing that the Mayo are playing in a higher division. I know they had a tough time in Division 2A, but they're playing against teams like Antrim and Offaly, etc., which gives Mayo a great chance to play at a higher level in the game, regardless of maybe how difficult they might have felt that in the National Hurling League. McGahan, the Inniskeen man, breaks the ball across here. Aidan Burns, and back to McGahan. More controlled preparations from the Monaghan players. And again, it's Aidan Burns who's there to get it, and the ball's driven in. There's nobody there, but it's an attempt at the point. Angus Arish, yet another wide for the Monaghan men.
Yeah, Kevin Crawley, the full back there, and look at it, yeah, he was probably composed enough, but just off target, and Monaghan really need to capitalise on that. A bit more patience on the shot, and try and get a few scores on the board.
Yeah. Well, Mayo have yet one further scoring opportunity here. Boland, or perhaps Kenny, will have the score-taking opportunity. It's Boland. Kenny's leaving it to Boland. Kenny, the man who swiped over a very impressive 65 earlier on. This one here is not as far out. In fact, Kenny's making himself available out on the far line. But Shane Boland here, partly we're at Clontibret, and Shane hits the ball, he strikes it beautifully. Tashi Haran Trasnon, August Coolin Ella Dovio.
Yeah, Dan, and even in these early stages, 7 points to 1 up for Mayo. They're probably that bit more slicker, as we were called for the water break. That bit more slicker than Monaghan, a bit more composed on the ball, more movement, and just getting the scores that wee bit easier.
So a recap here, we have Shane Boland just after striking over his third point of the game. Jason Kine scoring in the 7th and 10th minutes. Owen Delaney after 8 and Sean Kenny after 13. That makes up the 7 points of the Mayo men who are visiting Park Newborough Clontibret. Monaghan's only score to date came from the stick of Niall Garland in the 6th minute. And both teams availing of, I suppose, the first time in Championship hurling that we've had a water break. You'd nearly need a wee bit of heat in the water here the day, or antifreeze or something. I wouldn't like it to be too cold, Aidan.
No, definitely not, Paddy. You know, I'm not too warm anyway. But look, overall, yeah, the scoreboard probably doesn't give a true reflection of the game. Mayo, without doubt, that bit sharper than Monaghan, but and fit to move the ball through the lanes that wee bit easier. From Monaghan's point of view, yeah, a bit hasty in the shot selection, and maybe just not taking the right option all the time. But like, Cuborn is a massive player to have in goal. His ability in goal as a shot stopper, or his stick work's excellent. His striking of the ball is unbelievable, and with this strong breeze, driving endless balls down the throat of the Mayo defence just isn't working. So maybe we'll have to go down the channels a wee bit wider and try and get possession a wee bit easier.
Yeah, and on the other side, they're eating a nice piece of forward play by the Mayo men, particularly their half forward line there. Shane Boland, Sean Kenny, and when it gets into the full forward line, Coyne and Delaney all scoring.
Yeah, and that's, as I said a little earlier on, you'll see the likes of Sean Kenny or Shane Boland popping up, and then the next thing Phillips drifts back into it. Maybe you hadn't seen him for a few minutes, and they just have that extra bit of talent all over the field, and everybody well able to hold.
Well, we're going to resume with another Monaghan puck out from the long and lengthy puck off Hugh Byrne. He's varying at this time. That is very much an instruction, I would say, in the water break, because there was no change at all out of the long puck outs earlier in the game. The ball is broken out the far wing, and the sideline cut will be to Monaghan. Over there is Cormac McNally. McNally looking at the options in front of him. Sends a cut in, nicely controlled by Conor Flynn. Flynn semi-blocked down, but yeah, the nice piece of defending the hook. A little bit of a nudge there from the Mayo players, and the ball is easily cleared by Gary Nolan, and danger averted by Mayo. The quick sideline cut, the referee says he's having none of that. He wants to slow things down a little bit, and it'll be Sean Kenny who'll have to wait for a little minute or two. Kenny looking at the options available to him again. Nice piece of the cut, and ultimately the chop down there by the Monaghan man, and you'd fancy the stick of Boland again to get his 4th point of the game. Shane Boland closer in than his previous attempts, which were all successful. His 100% record from the freeze continues. Shane Boland scoring Mayo's 8th point of the match. Byrne again varying the puck out. This one is to Colin Merrick, and Merrick getting the long one in. But again, it drops into the same place that the long puck outs from Byrne were going. That's straight into David Kenny. Kenny is like the Lord Mayor of his own half-back line there, dispensing with all ball nicely and setting up an opportunity. The opportunity was for Jason Coyne, and Coyne just overstretched to the left. August wide. August and Hugh Byrne reached Leshan Schlitter na lava kind of a Karnamak. A hen she a reach Guji and Arch Kierna Guji and Lena Lass Hully coming out of there now is the Monaghan one getting the break on the ball. The puck comes in from Crow, but alas, Mayo again getting the ball out, and complicated little interaction there resulted in Brian Flanagan getting the stick, but Stephen Coyne was under things at the full back line. Monaghan come back to Peter Traynor. Peter gets the ball further down to Aidan Kerr, and Kerr sends the ball play August or for Rio.
Yeah, and wasteful again. We just have to revert back to that last passage of play, albeit a wide for Mayo. So simple, sharp, quick movement. And it was a tight angle out in the corner, but fantastic to watch. Great skill levels.
Yeah, the kick out Daniel Huan was beautifully spotted there by Kelly in goals, and the ball is perfect. Peter Traynor solid at half back. Monaghan, it's McGahan with the ball. McGahan fancies himself from there, and well, the Monaghan curse, we've heard of the Mayo curse. The Monaghan curse is that it'll go to the right, and it's been dragged to the right all day long here. Brian Hunt looking forward for Kenny. The ball is deflected by the Monaghan men. Crow was under it, but I think it was Declan Crow indeed who was judged to have put the ball out over the sideline. Cut again comes in from Kenny. Short little nudge. The attention of Shane McNally helping out there to break the momentum in the Mayo attack. out came Kevin Crawley with that one there. Good piece of work by the Monaghan fullback. And referee just asking the players to draw breath before they're free here with the wind. Byrne comes out to take it. Hugh Byrne and Guy Lesh to Titchemer and Carnog. Down it comes, McGahan's under it. The ball breaks nicely out from the Mayo men. Dinner across for Freeman. Freeman's work is interrupted from the stick of Aidan Burns. And Aidan Burns hits Monaghan's second score of the game. A lovely piece of work by Aidan Burns.
Yeah, excellent, and that's the way Monaghan have to start doing it. He was more composed on the ball, and it wasn't a rash shot, or he wasn't under any much pressure or that. But like when they do get into possession, they have to simplify the game, pop out the handy ball if they're under pressure from Mayo.
And under pressure Monaghan is once again. Ball comes across for Adrian Phillips. Hugh Byrne. Well, the goalkeeper's under all kinds of bother here. He does really well to clear his lines because the pressure was quite intense there. There was certainly a little push on the back. Brian Hunt it was. He was just that wee bit over attentive to his duties. And yeah, Monaghan will fancy the chance. Can they get a third point from here? Fergal Rafter. And for those of you not familiar with Monaghan hurling, Fergal Rafter is probably the most prolific scorer of frees and indeed from play in County Monaghan. Normally as steady as she goes, part of a very successful Castleblaney team, which again has won the county championship here in Monaghan. So Fergal Rafter it is now to bring the gap back to 5 points. Rafter, Tashi Ard, Galore Arain knows Tashi Rish, Tashi Crin, Chechi Harantas Non. And from the stick of Fergal Rafter, Monaghan since the water break, the momentum has increased and they're back to a 5-point game.
Yeah, and a bit of a change. Like the puck out strategy's changed a wee bit. They're going more to try and hit the man direct. And again, they're not just driving as many balls down the throat of the Mayo defence, trying to shorten the game up slightly.
Yeah, just over 26 minutes gone. Mayo going to respond to this mini revival from Monaghan, and by gosh do they respond. That was a lovely piece of work from Daniel Huan, and Daniel extends the Mayo lead to 6 points once again. One of the best points of the game so far from the stick of Huan. Nice low piece of fielding there indeed. Getting down well was Boland. He sends it across to Phillips, and Phillips sends the ball across the bar. Mayo responding with style to, I suppose I said, that little mini revival by the Monaghan guys, and it's Phillips who gets his first score of the game. And Hugh Byrne under no illusions that the task facing his colleagues further out the field is immense as he drives another long shot right down. And Mayo there in numbers once again. Freeman comes out with the slitter. Smacked Ithak Ega Aaron Slitter. He changes Sheas Napaka reached. Running onto that one is Jason Kine. Kine turns beautifully, strikes beautifully. Beautiful point from the stick of Jason Kine.
Too easy, Paddy, way too easy. I'm even watching for the Monaghan puck outs. The Mayo half forward line are going right deep. Like the centre half forward, Shane Boland is getting right back into defence to help them out there, and then resetting up when they get possession or turn Monaghan over.
Cahill Freeman. It was a careless enough ball by Freeman, and Peter Traynor will deal with that one there. Sends across to McNally and Flynn. Flynn has 2 men with him, but he turns nicely. Mayo interrupt the ball again. Phillips it is on it. Crow sending it further down the field. And he was going to say he's putting the Mayo boys under pressure. He's going to choke the life out of them if he continues like that. And the deserved free is to Mayo. Brian Hunt it is, with the puck. Change to Sheas na Parka. Nice piece of work there by McNally. Picks the ball up and gets it back down the field. Osh or Will, Niall Garland and Fannocht out to Burns. Ball comes across to Flynn. Flynn takes a shot and change Haran Trasnon. And yeah, nice piece of work there. Conor Flynn picking up his first score of the game. Kelly gets the ball out. Boland was hoping to get it, but Aidan Burns had other intentions. McGahan just not controlling the ball, and the very impressive Kenny picks it up, the centre half back for Mayo here. Hunt, I think it is, comes out to know it's Freeman rather. Freeman with the maroon helmet. Does she agree? Has agreed. Lesh Freeman still in possession. He's going right down the field. Well, and in the end the ball is deflected into their own net there from the Monaghan full back. It was Kevin Crawley it was. He just got an awkward touch to the ball in past Hugh Byrne in goal.
Yeah, and I think Kevin maybe went for that ball. Maybe he'd have been better leaving it to Q, but maybe a bit of miscommunication there. But God, that's like two things that Monaghan need to look at. Why was he let run the length of the field? And secondly, there's no pressure. Nobody met him, even right back into the 21 and on into the 13. Very soft from Monaghan.
Absolutely killer blow for Monaghan there. Again, David Kenny was setting up the attack again, but back out it comes from the stick of Shane McNally. Just nonchalantly back to David Daniel Huan. And Mayo in total control now following that goal. Byrne, well, he hadn't a prayer on the ball as it went in. It was a deflection from his fullback, and little or nothing he could do. That fullback is sending the ball right down the field again, but again, no sense of control by Monaghan. It's just pucking it back down there, and the likes of the Mayo men under Sean Roy there will pick it up all day long. Gary Nolan, and then Kenny sending it back down the field again. Well, Monaghan will be glad of the half-time break. That goal really sinking a punch. Will there be another one here? Phillips comes through, and Phillips scores again for the second time in the game. And from a little revival earlier, just about the 20-minute mark there from Monaghan, we're going to go into half-time with a massive Mayo lead, a fairly stiff breeze, and one would say total control by the Mayo men. Monaghan recognise that it's time to do something about the situation. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to withdraw McGahan, and in will march the number 19 Conor Boyle. Conor Boyle from the Gael Truha Club just arriving onto the scene. He's going to take off duties on the square, but yeah, it's going to be a difficult second half here for the home team. Mayo men will be just thinking probably about how they can maximise this experience for the next round of this Nicky Rackard Cup. Mayo men again was defending stoutly. It was Stephen Coyne. Interruption from the Monaghan men. Garland had a semi-shot there, but it was half blocked down. And the controlled passing of the Mayo men sent it across to Sean Kenny. Sean Kenny turns two men, takes the shot. Agus Tashiar Clay, Agus for real, just wide to the left there from Kenny. Very dangerous player when the Slitter in St. Lavega, and playing very well so far. Hugh Byrne straight back out to his full back, and crossfield ball looking for Flynn. Gets him. Down the ball comes. But again, Mayo attack Chaktamak Leshan Niroj. Not for the first time Stephen Coyne, the captain, losing possession here. And referee's going to blow this up, what I'm going to imagine, for the throw in. The Shamozzle is deep, and this could be a ruck right now for all we know. There's men everywhere, but nobody better than David Kenny to clear things up. Oh, a dangerous ball by Kenny, goes across, and well, the situation was semi-retrieved by Aidan Kerr. He had a golden opportunity and just didn't make contact with the Schlitter.
Not alone should it have been a score, Paddy. Definitely should have been a goal. Like were two things he done. He tried to pull on the ball on the ground and missed it. But look at pick it, stick it in the back of the net, get something on the board. But to miss and get nothing.
Yeah, Tashi, Shirkers are for real. A big disappointment for Monaghan. They really could have gained some valuable ground here before the end of the second half. As Peter Traynor sends the ball into no man's land, there's nobody there, and referee goalkeeper Gerald Kelly, rather. Maybe he'd like to be referee as well, but Gerald just totally happy to let that run out over his own end line and know that, well, there'll be a bit of relief coming in the second half in terms of the wind, and that I suppose Mayo will have an advantage that they'll be able to press on even further with if they continue to play like this here. Mulroy under the ball. Oh well, that's a fairly tough challenge by McNally. It's not going to get off of that one there. So Mulroy is leaving it for Cahill Freeman. Freeman very impressive in this first half here at Clontibret. The ball sent in to the Corey Scahill. And Corey Scahill judged to have just taken a wee bit too much out of that there. Travelling, and Hugh Byrne will be glad to relieve the Monaghan defence lines. Hugh Byrne. Well, he hits the ball well. It's going to drop right out on the bottom of the square there. But again, Mayo, the full back line, doing super work. Back out comes to Freeman. We're at the point now where there's 35 minutes gone. We'll be advising you very shortly if there's any, which there will be some extra time here, injury time at the end of the first half. Well, Lerojic Prabhu Harter Larna Farka. Nobody in control. Well, a bit of control offered here by McNally from Monaghan. And, well, referee not at all happy with the manner in which the ball was distributed. And you'd imagine it'll be Kenny or Boland who's going to have a go at this one here. Indeed, it is Shane Boland. Shane Boland. Coming agus Lerojic Fakencher Kayla takes his time, composure, strikes the ball, strikes it beautifully, and over the bar for Mayo. Aidan Shane has a lovely style of delivery of the Schlitter.
Not alone, Paddy, can he hit a free. His involvement in open play is unbelievable. Serious, skillful hurler, excellent to watch.
Yeah, masterclass has been given by Shane Boland here in Clontibret as Crow forges forward for the Monaghan. Crow corrects, he takes a shot that she aired, but not aired galore, Marinyefa, and it drops into the hands of Gerald Kelly. Different men go looking for that one there. Brian Flanagan comes out with it. He sends it into care, and again Monaghan, the ball is breaking on the edge of the square, a chance of the goal, and the ball is in the back of the net, and it was Aidan Burns, I think, the man who got the touch to that in the end. A little gift to Monaghan just going into half time.
Yeah, and look, at truth be told, they should have another goal on the board from that opportunity from Aidan Kerr earlier, so perfect timing for Monaghan just to sneak that goal.
Well, one would have thought there might have been a wee bit deflated going into half time, but as it turns out, the Monaghan men just getting that little bit of incentive, Eggero and Keitla. So here we are in Clontibret in this Nicky Rackard Cup first round match, and the reality is a dominant Mayo team go in 113 to 1-4 ahead. Join us again for the second half.
You won't
Fáilte Rover Rash and Shockagee Parkley we're in Clontibret. And fáilte that is to everybody. There's many a wonderful thing has taken place, I suppose, with the technology etc. that's been applied to this year's championship and league matches. We're joined by people from Canada and all parts of the world here today for the first round of the Nicky Rackard Cup between the men of Monaghan and Mayo. It's the visitors who are in dominant form in the first half. They went in a goal and 13 to a goal and 4 down. That late Monaghan goal coming at the end of the first half. Quite a stiff breeze, I suppose, has an effect on the game, on the conditions of the game, and Monaghan did enjoy the benefit of that breeze in the first half. Referee Colin Murray from Down about to throw the ball in for Ndarnala. Mayo, of course, playing in Division 2A of the National Hurling League earlier in the year, and the benefit of playing against some of the strongest teams in the country. Very evident in their approach to the matches. Adrian Phillips tries to control the ball successfully, does so. Phillips, well, he's going to send the ball right across to the other wing. He was there for his corner forward. The corner forward, Delaney, is on control, gets the ball sent across, but it's broken down to Hugh Byrne. Hunt turns and gets the danger out of the way, but only as far as the number 12 Niall Garland. Mayo, Carl Freeman had an excellent first half, and Mayo setting up the attack now, enjoying the benefit of the wind which was deprived of them in St Cadla. McNally sending the ball forward. The sub Conor Boyle unable to get it onto the stick, and the resulting attack is set up by Shane Boland. Boland had an excellent first half, but ultimately Owen Delaney not controlling the ball there, and it's Monaghan with Shane McNally. Again, characteristic enough for Monaghan that they send, I suppose, the pass away. The ball is long. Tashi Haran Trasnon, an absolutely wonder point there from the Mayo man, right from the depths of their own half. Bright start for Mayo, Aidan.
Yeah, Mayo have they've started where they left off in the first half, and one notable change, Paddy, on the Monaghan team is Q Bourne, the goalie in the first half, is now operating at full forward. He's replaced Aidan Kerr, and Paddy Collins is now in goal for Monaghan.
Well, aforementioned Paddy Collins just has had a nightmare start to the game as the ball goes into the back of the net, just as you were talking there, Aidan. Augusta Cool Ella Egmuncher Mayo. Paddy just not controlling the ball, and it dropped, and it's on Cool. And to be fair, Monaghan have conceded 2 really soft goals in this game here, one either side of half time.
Monaghan's major issue, Paddy, is getting the ball from one teammate to another, and that's causing them all sorts of hassle. When they're in possession, getting turned over so easily, trying to strike the ball under pressure, whereas Mayo's the complete opposite. There's always a channel for them to release the ball when they're under pressure from the Monaghan players.
Well, there's no pressure at all on Sean Kenny when you're talking again. He has scored. The ball has been sent over the bar. It's one-way traffic here at Clontibret. 2 goals and 15 now to Mayo. 1 goal and 4 to the Monaghan men. And well, the outcome of this game is inevitable. It's a matter now of what experience both teams can get from this fixture. Mayo, again, they're going to keep Mr. Collins very, very busy in the Monaghan goals. He has just come in here playing against the breeze, and the Monaghan men under savage pressure. Collins sends the ball right out. Nice piece of work here by Peter Traynor, the Castleblaney man. But it was not for the first time that Mayo half-back line putting their own stamp on affairs. A stamp that Declan Crowe would like to put on from the Monaghan side. He takes a quick kick. He's looking for Byrne in the full forward line. It's breaking though to Stephen Coyne. Coyne, there's a foul there, and it's a free in And the free in is to the Monaghan men, and this will give Fergal Rafter the chance surely to open his account in the match. I said about the hoodoo and Rafter earlier on, waxing lyrical about his abilities, and his opportunity went to the right and wide, but I've no doubt that Fergal Rafter will fancy this particular opportunity. He's just waiting for a lorry to pass, no distractions, and that's exactly, the lorry's gone and the ball's gone. It's went over the bar, and it's the first score of the game for the second half for Monaghan, and Fergal Rafter, it is goal in 5 now for the home side. 2:15 to Mayo. Kelly, well, there's no variation in the ball in the second half, but a beautiful catch by Kevin Crawley. Crawley, nice piece of fielding there, and well anticipating the long puck out from Mayo. There's a crowd of men on this ball. There's sticks, there's teeth, there's feet, there's everything in there. Hugh Byrne gets the ball onto the stick. He's turning, he still has it. He's twisting and he's still turning. Looks around. Well, he looked around and he found Brian Hunt. And Hunt just anxious to clear his lines. The ball roll rather aimlessly will drop to Peter Traynor. Traynor looking around. The distinctive red helmet of his teammate and clubmate Crow was there, and Niall Garland it is who flings the ball in. A nice piece of fielding by Fergal Rafter, and Rafter takes a shot. Tashi Harron thrust on, an absolutely glorious piece of work there by Fergal Rafter.
More simple hurling, Paddy, like winning possession, popping it off to a teammate, quick ball, Fergal Rafter, bang, you know, and that's the way to play hurling, you know, nice simple stuff, moving the ball as quick as you can.
Well, that's the way to play hurling. Even better if it's within the AM Hurley, because I'm giving the plug here for my analyst Aidan Morgan of AM Hurleys at well, there's a break and play here. We're not sure exactly what the referee has given yet. It's not committing with hands. In fact, he's not committing at all because he's having a wee chat with his linesman. And well, the wee chat with the linesman's not, one would imagine, at all to the benefit there of Brian Flanagan. The referee, he didn't produce a card in the end, but he had a quick word with him and a wee bit of a tut-tut just as he was walking past. No tut-tuts today at all for Shane Boland. He has been error-free with the schlitter. Because a reached Tashi, Jack a reached Tashi. No! Neil Shakrin, it's to the left and wide. And certainly I seem to have put the curse on Boland there, because he had been striking the ball so fantastically all day long. Peter Traynor coming more and more into the game as Traynor. But a busy second half ahead for the Monaghan defender. As the Mayo men looking for something, there was an infringement just as the stick hit the leather, and as a result of that there will be another free for the Mayo men, and no doubt Shane Boland will want to recover his reputation having had his first wide of the game. Shane Boland it is for Mayo. Come on, and a slitter very neatly done, and this time again he has picked up another wide. Tashir Yeshuk for real. Monaghan 8 were guilty quite a few wides the first half down those goals. Mayo seem to be picking up on that.
Yeah, and it's uncharacteristic of Boland there. Like in the first half, he accurate from all over the field, and yeah, maybe two difficult frees there. The wind is kind of slightly different in this half too. It's kind of a cross field breeze, so maybe that is a factor to play in that.
Well, one man who didn't mind playing against the breeze is Fergal Rafter. If anything, much more lively here in the beginning of the second half than he was in the first half. It's his teammate Hugh Byrne who has put the ball out over the sideline, we believe, and the sideline cut would be to Mayo. Now, and Hugh Byrne must have created a foul because the referee's taken a more stern action on this occasion. There's a cart the buoy out. The buoy is out to the man who started in goals, who's now at full forward for Monaghan. So he passed the goalie baton to Patrick Collins, or Paddy Collins. Collins had a difficult start to second half, but settled down things nicely. Mayo again, well, they're first to the ball. Phillips it is, he sends the ball nicely forward, and work by Mulroy, but again, great defending there. Brian Flanagan's right in under that. There's a toe pick from McNally, sending the ball out a little bit further, and very stout defending by the Monaghan men, choking out the attack, and it's Niall Garland who comes forward. Monaghan playing with much more intent here in the second half. Rafter, crossfield ball, beautifully fields it there, and sent back across to Burns. Burns with a shot. Burns with a goal!
Fantastic passage of play by Monaghan, and you would have to ask the question, and for the first time in the game, where was the Mayo defence? There was no pressure maybe coming on them, and it left them move the ball that wee bit quicker, but excellent passing of the ball, and Aidan Burns was absolutely right to have a crack at it.
Aidan Burns with his second goal of the game here from Monaghan, and well, we're back to 9 points now, 2 goals and 6 to 2 goals and 15, and the mystery of mysteries is we're all ducking here because there's a ball landing just on top of the commentary team. Aidan is going to take it home with him, I think, and in the meantime, who else but Shane Boland picks up the schlitter, and he sends the ball across the crossbar again. Reached, the ball is back out. Garland very much involved in the build-up to the Monaghan goal there. Sends it forward. Hugh Byrne comes out looking for it along with Coyne. And Byrne, again, he needs to be very careful here. He's on a yellow card, and he was judged to foul Coyne as he did so. But just that last score, that was the 7th point of the game for the Mayo centre half back Shane Boland, and very much the masterclass man. Gerald Kelly it is who's going to take this here. He's got the wind, he's got serious distance behind the ball, and it's going to go the full distance. It's going to go right down. It's dropping just on the edge of the square, dropping dangerously, but nice combination piece of work. Gets the ball back to Colin Merrick. Merrick to Flanagan. Danger averted by Monaghan. Carl Freeman, beautiful piece of fielding, stick work. His work that led to the goal from Mayo, but this time Tashir play, and but Freeman, just the Mayo goal in the first half. He ran. The ever-ready battery was going, and then a sort of a little combination of errors between fullback and goalkeeper led to a Mayo goal. 2-16 to 2-6, 10 points of difference. Gone Noman Jeg, Emma Zadarnala, 12 minutes gone. Mayo have a sub, their first sub on, and the sub that comes on is Cormac Phillips. And Cormac Phillips is immediately involved in the play here. He sends the ball harmlessly enough down to McNally. McNally not able to do very much with it, and who would you not want to give it to? Shane Boland takes it. This is the 8th point of the game, and yeah, Mayo a little bit stung by the Monaghan goal, are quick to respond, and the inevitable ability of Boland being the point scorer. Crossfield ball here by Mayo. They're playing with a bit of danger here. Crow quick to put his stamp on it, but Kenny is the man with a mission from Mayo. He finds the wandering Sean Kenny, and Sean Kenny's puck goes over the bar, and a second fabulous score by Sean Kenny here in Park Nivora.
Yeah, fantastic score, and Mayo can just seem to op it when they need to. One thing that is walking, give the Monaghan player a next chance of winning that ball, and they are getting a bit of success. It's a bit more open around the middle now than it would have been in the earlier stages of the game, and getting a wee bit of success there. But so it's really important, keep moving the ball, but give the players an opportunity to win it rather than giving it a 50-50 ball.
Hugh Byrne with the shot. It's going to drop on the square, but goalkeeper Kelly is going to marshal this one out. Brian Morley just joined the fray here for Mayo in place of Daniel Huan. Aforementioned Cormac Phillips also on the field, and he's replacing Owen Delaney. Well, Phillips is through, sends the ball straight forward for the Mayo, and yes, it's a third goal of the game for the Mayo men. Jason Coyne, I think it was, who was coming through for them here. It's either himself or Corey Scallon. No, in fact, it was the man who's just on the field. His first touch of the game was Brian Morley. Morley just in and has a goal to his name. That goal is a sobering effect on the Monaghan boys unless Hugh Byrne can do something majestical here. And Crow was lounging forward for the ball, but Mayo just getting it under control, and back down it goes the field. But only again as far as Cormac McNally. McNally, lovely piece of sight by him, sees Garland with intent, Garland with a thing of beauty, and sends the ball Haran Trasnon for the Monaghan men.
Yeah, excellent score there, and again it's making a bit of space for themselves and getting the ball out open and wide, and Niall, there was no pressure on him whatsoever, but more times than that we're just driving the ball down like a 50-50 ball into Fergal after putting it up in the air. Give him an opportunity to win the ball.
Kelly sends the ball out. Oh, McNally not able to control it, and again Boland has it. Boland takes the shot and Boland takes the point, and that's the second time in a row, I suppose, that Cormac McNally a little bit of difficulty controlling the ball, and Boland is there. He's scavenging on every opportunity, and Paddy Collins sends the ball back right now out to the centre of the field and beyond. There we have Conor Flynn. Conor Flynn breaks the ball, but again, this very, very composed work by the Mayo men, and Boland has it again. Boland looking for the goal scorer Morley, but the Monaghan men managing to interrupt that one. It was Kevin Crawley who ultimately got to stick to the ball, and the stick with the ball now is Garland. Garland looking for Hugh Byrne. Byrne gets a nudge and a dunt and a push and a shove, but he's still got a chance to go through here, and out comes Stephen Coyne, the captain. And the ball pitch perfect there from Mayo, looking inevitably for Boland. Would you not want to look for him the way that man's playing? Crow. The ball to Julius Shockley and Cornell. Kick on the for Mayo. Rafter not able to control the ball. That's not well recovered there by Flynn. Back to Rafter. Rafter, it's high, it's against the wind, and it's to the right and wide. 3:19 now to the Mayo men. 2 goals and 7 to Monaghan. The difference in experience and in class is evident throughout, but Monaghan with a much pluckier performance in the second half, and are able to, they really are having a go at it here, and the nerves have settled down. I think they've said, look, we have to represent ourselves with distinction here, we have to represent our league with distinction, and I think that they are doing that in the second half. Fergal Rafter, well, there's a big ask Rafter. It's just almost bang on the centre of the field where Rafter is going to attempt this shot from. He gets the height to it, and he just doesn't get the accuracy. Tashi or Clay. And just with that, we're entering into the first water break here, the second water break rather. 3:19 to Mayo, 2-7 to Monaghan. Little green shoots for Monaghan in the second half. All of the stuff you mentioned half time, they've rectified their play. Simple, direct hurling, and yeah, Mayo are pretty much dominant in defence, but more opportunities.
Yeah, definitely so, Paddy. They're getting a wee bit more space and a bit more time on the ball, and their composure's a wee bit better because of that. But yeah, in the first half, the Monaghan guys had no time on the ball. Mayo were closing them down, and that has probably improved, truth be told, the game's probably over more or less, and Mayo don't need to put in that level of intensity to turn Monaghan over. They're standing off them a wee bit more, but yeah, moving the ball a wee bit better. But yeah, Mayo's probably cruising. Look at it, I would say if they were under any sort of pressure at all, there's another couple of gears in them, but they're doing the simple things right. They're moving the ball well, they're working for each other, their intensity's good. On the flip side with Monaghan, yeah, look at they're working hard, they're fighting and trying hard, but when it works for them, it works, but consistently enough, it doesn't. And look at you need to be giving your forwards the utmost chance of winning a ball when it's coming in, and unfortunately Monaghan's just not getting that consistently enough.
So 3-19 it is to Mayo and 2-7 to Monaghan. The other match in this competition that's going on at the moment is between Donegal and Longford. Donegal at the moment leading by just 2 points in that fixture. Actually, I'm told that fixture has just finished and a very narrow victory for the Donegal. But surprised, one thought Donegal would be very dominant in that one, Aidan.
Yeah, and Donegal an excellent team too, but last year I would have seen Longford play, I think it was actually in the Nicky Rackard against Monaghan, and I was very impressed with them, and they've a lot of work done. So maybe not a huge surprise that they were competitive, but yeah, you'd be expecting Donegal to win it all the same.
And locally at underage level, we have noticed the Longfords, the Leitrim's, etc. coming forward, the Sligos, all the time improving their hurling profile. Stock of Mayo, of course, going up here. But Peter, the Castlebrini man again, brings the ball under control and sends it back down the field. Well, it only came down no further than the hand of number 20, who had just joined the fray, and that 20 is Cormac Phillips. And Cormac puts the ball over the bar and scores a beautiful point there from the aforementioned Phillips. Well, Boland. Out to Morley, the goal scorer. There's a second opportunity of the game. He's a point scorer now as well as a goal scorer, and well, where was this man all along? Brian Morley comes in, scores a goal and a point, and he certainly has a lot to offer to the Mayo attack, and has proven himself in that regard. Conor Flynn gets a stick to the ball, but he cannot bring it under control for the Monaghan men. The green and red of Mayo, and the magician work of Boland again put further pressure. Kenny it was who had possession. I thought he was fouled. He wasn't fouled. It was free to the Monaghan men. A bit of charity maybe from the down official here today. Monaghan in no position to take advantage of it, as they just send the ball straight back to Mayo. And Mulroy sends the ball just back down the field. He sends it straight over the bar, and Mayo extend the lead. 3:22 now to Mayo, 2 goals and 7 to Monaghan. Collins, he ain't half busy in there. There's a crowd of men on the ground with the Slitter, Tashigdul Shiasna Parka, Vishigdul through Hugh Byrne, but it was cut out beautifully by Cathal Freeman. Cathal very impressive, great control with the stick from the beginning of this game, always in the right place at the right time. Mayo have another sub on the field, that's Liam Lavin. Lavin picking up possession. There's a foul on Phillips, and what's the betting here that it'll be one Shane Boland who's going to take this? Yeah,
without doubt, Paddy. Just to note, before this game I knew very little about the Mayo team or any of the players in particular, but the number 7 Cathal Freeman and number 11 Shane Boland, even take the frees away from Shane Boland, his contribution to open play is fantastic. And Cathal Freeman, he's kind of playing a sweeping role there. I know he's a half back, but he's kind of playing a sweeping role. He's just sitting back and waiting on that ball to come down his throat every time. And them two players, they would walk onto any team in the country. They're fantastic. Their skill level and work rate is top notch.
So 23 minutes, we're into the second half here at Clontibret. Boland with the strike, Boland with the point. I could have really said it before he took that, and Shane Boland adding to his tally for the day. Collins now looking to see what options are available to him from a Monaghan perspective. The options beautifully worked there by Niall Garland. Garland has had a very, very good game for the Monaghan men. And the ball's looking for Hugh Byrne in there, but it's broken down. Gary Nolan is under it. Nice, strong piece of defence by Nolan. He's been impressive since the beginning of the game, doing very good work. Gets it across to Freeman, and Freeman nonchalantly sends the ball across to Phillips here. Phillips looking at the options available to him, and he has options available to him. None better, you would have thought, than number 13, Jason Coyne. And Coyne sends the ball in, but again easily collected by Kelly, and then the good work of Kevin Crawley getting the ball back down the field. Ball brought out here to Boland. Boland, playmaker on this occasion there, and that was a lovely piece of work again by the sub. This is Lavin, this is the sub we're talking about at this stage here, and Lavin gets his first score of the game for Mayo. 3:22 now to Mayo, 2 goals and 7 to Monaghan. But in fairness, we...
324.
In fact, the 3:22, it's even worse for your Monaghan man. I believe the scoreboard here is not accurate. It's 3:24 in reality. We'll have to reconcile that one before the end of the match.
The scoreboard's okay, Paddy, we leave it at that. But just on tactically, and I've said it a number of times, Monaghan win a ball in defence or in round the middle, it's a 50-50 ball in. On the flip side, if you watch Mayo, they won 2 balls in a row there on the half back line, and it's a pinpoint pass. Lavin got that ball come in, it was a 70-30 ball in his favour, won the ball, scored. The next ball that comes in, it's the same thing. They're getting every opportunity, and the passing is pinpoint accurate. On the flip side, Monaghan aren't getting that, you know.
Break and play here. It's a free into Monaghan. Fergal Rafter is the person who's going to take it. Rafter just teasing out what way that wind is blowing. It's tricky. It sure is into his face. It's not the conditions you'd fancy when you're going to challenge yourself against the breeze. Rafter quite happy to do so. Sends a ball in, it's dropping, and it's to the right and wide. Referee making way. I think we have another sub coming on. I think this time it may be on the Monaghan team, and yes indeed, and joining the fray is Monaghan number 17, Pierce McKenna, coming on. And it's Shane McNally who's making way for McKenna. McKenna is going to be right onto this first ball that comes down, but he flails out at it. But it's Cormac McNally who's going to get the ball under control here. And the helmet of McNally, yeah, he just didn't really compose himself, and in the end it was a careless enough ball out over the sideline. Beautiful cut, an absolutely beautiful cut there from Boland. Sent across. Kenny sent across for Phillips. Phillips down and up and back in command and sending the ball over the bar. Well, the Mayo tally, it's running round here like the petrol station at McNally's Braeside. 3:26 now for Mayo. 3:25 rather. 2 goals and 7 for the men from Monaghan. The Farney men really struggling here since the water break, and haven't created scoring opportunities. They're about to do so. It's a stick of Fergal Rafter, and Rafter sending the ball straight over the bar, and the officials present, you can hear a little round of applause acknowledging Rafter's endeavour there and his skill in getting the ball over the bar. John Kenny, well, everybody was trying to stop that ball getting to Boland. It's a hard man to stop, but the Monaghan boys did that on that occasion. Took about a half a dozen of them, mind you, to do so. And the man with the half dozen on his back was Peter Traynor. There was the man who came out of the ball and lost it again in turn. And well, Peter doesn't like losing the ball, so he wins it straight back again. Mayo have a sweeper, 2 sweepers, or maybe 3 sweepers that could sweep all day down there. There's but the pressure comes Fergal Rafter. Rafter just scored a point a few minutes ago, and he's brought down, and he will have an opportunity to double that.
Yeah, actually Mayo's probably playing the way that we would have expected more Monaghan to play, that getting guys behind the ball in their own defence and opening up a bit of room in their attack, but Mayo's actually doing that. The guys sitting back just waiting on that ball to come in, and that's giving them time. There's nobody on them, sweep and roll, quick ball back into their forwards, and that's probably why they're getting scores that little bit handier, as well as having some seriously talented hurlers.
Fergal Rafter. And Fergal Rafter sends the ball Harentras non. The referee stopping the game. I think Mayo are withdrawing the services of Sean Kenny. He's had made a very strong contribution to the game, and he'd be very happy with his day's work. Boland sends the ball out to Morley, and right it comes back. It drops down to their number 17. That's Conor Murray. Murray just on the field, and there's something about Mayo men who just come on the field to score straight away.
Yeah, the impact of the subs for Mayo has been unreal. I think they've all got on the scorecard there now, and they're equally as talented as the guys that's going off, and that's massive to have.
Well, it's a half an hour gone. Conor Boyle got the ball but went to ground, and not on the ground is Gary Nolan. He sends the ball cross field. Lovely piece of work there by the Monaghan captain Kevin Crawley, who gets it out towards Crow, Declan Crow. Crow poses himself on the game and comes down to Hugh Byrne. 3:26:2. And number 22, Hugh Byrne. Well, Hugh made a good effort there. Fouled, I think, as he was, and the referee is indicating there's going to be a free into the Farney men. 3:26 to Mayo. 2 goals and 9 to Monaghan. The game is a competition well and truly over. It's been for quite a while here. But anybody who's just coming in late to the game here, Monaghan had a plucky display in the second half after a disappointing display with the win in the first half. And Fergal Rafter, a busy man throughout here, going to have another opportunity to score. Takes the puck, and Fergal has found his rhythm here, and he knocks the ball over the bar.
Yeah, and I'm probably reliant on just a few scraps of frees and stuff to keep the scoreboard ticking over for Monaghan there.
Well, Fergal has scrapped up 6 points now, and an impressive piece of work by him. Morley is marshalled out over the sideline, and this cut here will be for Kevin Crawley. Crawley, the Inniskeen man. Well, he doesn't go very far. There was a bit of an air shot there by Burns. Boland sends the ball out to Jason Coyne, and Jason Coyne takes the shot and takes the point. Jason Coyne, one of the really impressive players here in the Mayo full forward line, and has been feeding off high quality ball from the beginning of this fixture. Another player really has found his rhythm is Phillips, and Phillips sends the ball right back over the bar. Adrian Phillips, that is. The height and composure and grace of Phillips in the air there was remarkable, and he's had a very satisfying game, has Adrian Phillips. McNally sending the ball downfield. There's players from all teams. Conor Boyle is a Monaghan man who's under it. Boyle gets the ball back on the stick, knocks it down for his colleague, and that colleague is the double goal scorer, Adrian Burns. Burns, ball drops on the square. Hugh Byrne has something to fight for here, but out comes David Kenny, and Kenny to Freeman. And the ball going right back into Kyle again. Kyle just scored a minute ago. He's got the ball on his stick, he's running. There's murder in his eyes as he ran there, but he was brought down, had to be brought down. It was Merrick who brought him down, and the opportunity, no doubt, would be for Shane Bold to tap over another free.
Yeah, and Colin Merrick, in fairness to him and Kevin Crawley have both been fairly steady in defence, and an outrageous amount of ball been played through them, but they've done everything that they could do in there and try and halt in Mayo, but that's not going to be simple. This Mayo team will take an awful lot of watching throughout this competition. To put up 328 and counting is fantastic shooting.
That's 329 now. A wee background action here for us in the commentary is that the Lavery's video team scoreboard and versus the official scoreboard, and which was right and which was wrong, and Fergal and statistics here was running around to ensure that they're reconciled well. Well, the answer is that, of course, the Lavery's video statistics are always right, and as a result of that, the official scoreboard has been changed, and it's now 329 to Mayo, 210 to Monaghan, and this Nicky Rackard competition is going to be one that Mayo will fancy from here on in, because they've found a rhythm here today in Clontibret, having a tough league campaign early in the year. They've regrouped, they've done their homework, they've got a style of playing that is really attractive for playing in this division and at this level, and the Nicky Rackard Cup could be their oyster. Well, one man whose oyster it is hitting Burns, and Burns, well, he has 2 goals today, and he really fancied. He says, well, I wouldn't mind a hat-trick, and he was on one there, and he had a fair effort. Murray sends the ball 35 minutes back down. We're coming to the end of normal time. Morley, another man with a goal to his name. Morley, that was a trip all day long. The referee, he's probably going to have a word here, because Morley was setting up a sort of a fairly good opportunity for himself. Referee is, of course, Colin Murray from Down, and he issued a carte de buis, as it was in the end, to the Monaghan fullback Kevin Crawley. Shane Boland strikes and puts the ball over the bar as we head into injury time. We've had the calculator going here. 12 points it is for Shane Boland. Massive tally for the accurate and impressive Mayo forward. Bit of loose play there by Monaghan. Sends the ball down, and speaking of down goes the Mayo number 21, Liam Lavin. We're into 3 minutes of additional time here at Parkney Borough, Clontibret. The referee is setting the ball down. Game very clean, open game, and well officiated by Murray, and I suppose the Monaghan players been under pressure. They've created a lot of fouls, Aidan, and this has given Boland, it's just given him oxygen all day long, these fouls, to score points like that.
Yeah, absolutely, Paddy, and I'd say whoever's doing the stats for Monaghan, when they look back and the scores that they missed, and frees the conceded that Shane Boland converted, it'll tell its own story, never mind the scoreboard at all, so they've left a lot behind them, but credit goes to Mayo. Fantastic performance from start to finish, and they never really looked in danger at any stage, so credit goes to them. Fantastic players all over the field, and a joy to watch.
So it looks as though it's victories for Mayo and Donegal here on the opening day of the Nicky Rackard Cup. There's one further fixture later today, and that's a fixture of Armagh and Leitrim in the Nicky Rackard Cup. Ball breaks in, Conor Flynn is onto that, and Conor goes down, he's on his bum, and the ball, unfortunately for him, has gone to the right and wide, and referee's having a wee check of the clock there, and a big stretch it was there, and the scoring subs from Mayo don't stop here, and this time it was Cormac Phillips adding to his tally, and lovely piece of athleticism by Cormac Phillips, and with that, Tahan Cleha Hart, Mayo a Hanigamaka Shaw Leshan Bua, Three trachadó sa Jero ag Mayo, go a jay ag Munyakon. Clean open game of hurling, but the team from the higher division are the clear winners, really driven on by the 12-point man, and that is Shane Boland, the number 11 for Mayo. Mayo have talent and depth. They brought on lots of subs. They've scored goals and points at will, as it was in the second half. Monaghan disappointed with their performance with the wind, but against the wind showed a much pluckier, a much more determined performance. And Aidan, just a final comment. Players are leaving the field here. There'll be a bit of disappointment in Monaghan. Mayo, will they have learned much?
Yeah, well, there's a bit of regrouping to be done on both teams. Mayo's going to regroup and look at the next challenge and go there with massive confidence. Monaghan will be looking back and saying, here, lads, we have a lot of work to do. We have to correct things that went wrong, and that's from silly misses and look at stupid things on match days, like putting the ball wide from 45 yards out. You're going to get punished by other teams, especially like quality opposition like Mayo. And look at they're heading out of here with a bit of wind in their sail and flying on to the next round, and Monaghan just have to regroup and see where it brings them.
Well, from the heart of Monaghan here in Clontibret, and from the depths of the deepest lockdown in terms of our current situation, the only winner here today is hurling and sport, because we have been able to fulfil a fixture meticulously organised by the home club here of Clontibret, and in the end it's 332 to Mayo, 210 to Monaghan. Slán ó Bhaile agus go dtéann sibh a lig